Hey everyone, hope you're all having a great day. And today we're inside my dad's 1964 Fairlane, and I'm just going to be shooting a video about how I got to where I am and the vehicles I've owned and how I ended up with my 1993 GT, and we'll insert pictures if I can of all the different vehicles. So, to start off, when I was probably 13 or 14, my dad had I'm not even sure what year model it was, but it was a 22 RE. It was a Tacoma. It was actually branded as Tacoma. It was a 5-speed 2-wheel drive, and it wasn't nothing nice. It was just an old beater truck, and that's how I learned how to drive a 5-speed. So that was kind of my first vehicle, not really mine, but that's what I learned to drive in. And then after that, I was 15, and I might lose track of the years of how old I was on some of these, but I know I was 15 and was looking for my first vehicle. So my dad was like, I found this guy near us that's got this 96 Bronco. It's supposed to be pretty nice, but the motor might be bad in it. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, let's go look at it. So I went and looked at it, and it was really nice. I liked it. It was a Eddie Bauer edition, was a 351, and it had dual exhaust at the sides, and it sounded really good. And it was lifted a little bit. I forget exactly how much it was lifted, but it had 35-inch tires on it and just on stock wheels. But it was really clean. And so I drove it around near the house for a little while before actually, I was 14 then. But I drove that around for a little while before I ever got my permit, and just drove it around the house because no cops come out here. So I realized really quick that thing was just horrible on gas, because I would like sneak it up to the gas station near our house, and I'd put seems like $20 in it, and like 2 days later it's out of gas, and I was like, Dad, that's my phone going off. And like 2 days later it'd be like almost out of gas, and I was like, Dad, this just isn't going to work. I can't afford to drive this thing to high school. We're just going to have to get something better on gas. And he's like, okay. So he's like, figure out what you want, and then we'll try to get rid of it, and then just go buy what you want. So I was like, I really want a Fox body. Like, my brother grew up racing one Fox body, a red coupe. It was like a 91 or 2. But he always had this 88 GT, and I was like, I just want a Fox body. So he looked around, and he's like, I found one not too far away, and he's like, let's just go look at it before we sell this Bronco. And he said, if it's nice, I'll cover the money for it, and then whenever we sell the Bronco, I'll just keep the money off of it. So I was like, okay. So we went up there, and it was just a really nice car, and I was like, I liked the LX look more than the GT, because like around here everybody had GTs, and I was like, this LX looks really nice. And it was a factory 302 car. It wasn't a 4-cylinder car. It was a hatchback, automatic, and I was like, I really like it. Let's get it. So we got it, and like I was instantly hooked. Like I just was like, I'm a Mustang person now. That's it. I don't want anything else but a Mustang. So I kept it for forever. Like, I'd still have it if it wouldn't have been in an accident. And I drove it, and then like insurance started getting really high on it. So it was just like, it was like so much that in a year of paying insurance for it, I could go out and buy a decent daily driver and pay less on insurance on it and drive it, if that makes sense. So it was like, okay, let's see if we can find you something to drive back and forth to school. So I was like, okay. So I found a 95 V6 Mustang. It was black, and I don't even know if I've got pictures of it. It's just a piece of junk. And it ran, but it had a miss, and like he said that he wasn't sure what the miss was. Excuse me. But finally I got the miss sorted out one day, and like I went I was working at the parts store in our town when it was still open, and like I went to go get our lunch in it, and it dies in the drive-thru, and like it would not start back. I swear. Like we tried every battery here at the house, would not start back. We was tired of dealing with it, so I was like, that's it. I'm getting rid of it. Well, actually, take a step back. Before that, I had a 95 Land Rover Discovery with a 3.9 V8 that had like some lifter chatter or a rod knock or something, and I traded it for that car. And like nobody won on that deal. Like that was both junk. But if I had a really nice Land Rover, I'd probably keep it, because that was a really fun vehicle. Like I just didn't care, and we just thrashed on it, and it was really fun. So so going back to the Mustang, like I was over it, and like we was pretty sure it had a rod knock, and like I put it on there, and I'm like losing $500 on this thing, and like this. I'm sorry that I keep saying like. I just now realized that. But this guy comes from nearby, not too far away, and he looks at it and he's like, "You care? I brought this battery. Let's put it on it and see if it starts it." Well, he puts this bigger battery than what it should have on there, and it starts right up. And I'm like, "What on earth?" I was like, "We've tried every battery here, and like all these batteries we were trying, we charged them, and they was good batteries, and it just wouldn't start." So I was like, "Whatever, just give me the money, take the car." And I guess he drove it for a while before it blew up or whatever. I never heard from him again. So I'm like, I'm tired of dealing with all this junk. And at this point, I don't even know how I was getting to school at this point. I think I was like riding the bus. Yeah, I was riding the bus. And I was like, I've got to have something to drive. I'm not riding the bus senior year, because this is my junior year that I'm trying to get out of this. And like, I'm not riding the bus senior year, just not gonna do it. So we finally find this 96 4Runner that someone that I knew's dad had, and it was in a wreck. Like supposedly it fell asleep and drifted off and hit a guardrail, and it bent up the core support or whatever, and like got into the body line a little bit, but you couldn't really tell it. They had to change the core support, but you couldn't tell that it had been wrecked, really. So we went and looked at it, and it drove pretty good. It ran really good. So we got it, and I drove it for a while, and we ended up having to put a ball joint in it, because that one side, when he hit the guardrail, messed up a ball joint, and it was about to like kill me. And I drove it forever, and then I graduated high school and was still driving it, and I like, if I could have any vehicle back, it would be a 4Runner with low miles, because that one it had 262,000 miles on it when I sold it, and that was one of the best vehicles I've ever had. Like, if I could find a low miles one, I'd definitely have another one. And it was a 96, so it had the 3.4, so it's pretty good. And so we sold it, and it's still running. I say it every now and then, and it's got like 280 something thousand miles on it now, probably more than that by now. And Dad was like, since you're out of high school, you need to, like, he said, you need to get something nicer that you can take on road trips if you decide to go on vacations, because if I go on vacations now, it's going to be without my parents. So we looked around for a long time, or I looked around for a long time. He just kind of waited to see what I picked. And I had my mind set I was going to get a 2003 to 2000 and I think 5 is when they quit making them. A Hemi, Dodge Ram quad cab. I was dead set on it, getting a Hemi, not settling for a 4.7, nothing else but a Hemi. So I looked around forever, and like, Hemis are just outrageous for a first gen Hemi, and there's nothing really special about them. And they're always high mileage when you find them on Craigslist around here. And I just kept looking and never could find one for the right price. And one day I was looking on Craigslist and I found a 4.7 one, and I was like, man, I really wish that was a Hemi, because it was just like a good price, and it had little dings here and there, and it had one bad spot on the bed, and I was just like, I really wish it was a Hemi. And Dad was like, you know, you shouldn't get so hung up on power. It's just going to be a daily driver. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And it's a V8 anyways. At least I won't be riding around in a 3.7 V6. And so he's like, let's just go look at it. So we go up there to look at it, and we drive it around, and I'm instantly hooked. I'm like, I have to have this truck. So I had saved up half the money, and he fronted me the other half. And then I ended up taking a loan out to pay him back, and I've done got it paid off now. So the truck's paid for, my car's paid for. All that I have to pay for now is that four-wheeler. But that's kind of off topic. But I got the truck, and ended up, so now, like, going through all these vehicles, I'm trying to think. I had the truck and the silver car at the same time, so yeah. So the latest one I've had is this car. So the silver car, the silver Mustang, the 1990 LX, and the 03 Dodge Ram, I had those. And then if you want to call her a woman, she was a really butch lesbian, hit me, which is outside the point, but I was really pissed off, and hits my LX, totals it out, and I'm just devastated. I'm like, I've put so much work into this car, and you know, you like put so much work into it and nobody cares. Insurance doesn't care. So we wait on the insurance, and somehow the guy that does the insurance for us ended up being had a mutual friend with my dad, and he's like, oh well, just send us all these list of certain pictures they wanted of the car, and we can just settle without even coming out there. And so we send those all in, and he's like, well, we put the car up as dealer ready after you send all those pictures in, so it's going to end up coming back more. Excuse me. So it's going to end up coming back more on the return for the buyback, and he's like, it's a total loss, and we'll give you $4,800 for it. And I was like, come and get it. I don't want the car, you know. Like, I really wanted to fix the car, but it was just like total, like around here, there would be nobody that could put it back right for $4,800. And I could just go buy another car for that was nice. And I was like, just come and get the car, I'm over it. So I rushed down there and get all my parts off of it that I had. And I'll make another video showing what I was on it, but it was nothing really special. So I get all the parts that I can off of it, and then they come and get the car, and I'm looking around, riding around near my house through different towns that are nearby. They're all really close. And I see this 1993 GT sitting in somebody's driveway, and I'm like, I want that car. And we end up with that car, and I was like, just said it kind of halfway jokingly. I never really thought that I'd end up with it. So I end up going to the guy's house, and I like knock on his door, nobody answers, and finally I figure out whose car it is. So I message him on Facebook, and I'm like, I saw your car, I rode by there, knocked on the door, nobody was there. Do you want to sell it? And he's like, no, I don't really want to sell it. And then I was like, okay, well, that's a bummer. So I just gave up and kept looking on Craigslist. And the guy messages me back, and he's like, did you know that we're cousins? And I was like, no, I had no idea we were cousins. And he's like, yeah, and he explained to me how we were cousins, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he said, do you still want the car? And I was like, yeah, but how much do you want for it? And he shot me a price out there. I'll just go ahead and tell you. He said, I'll take $6,500 for it. And I was like, that's upper dollar on GTs, like nice ones. And I was like, I just can't do that. And he's like, well, the lowest I can go is $6,000. And I tried to barter with him on it there for a little while, and he's like, I just can't go any lower. And I was like, well, next time you're nearby, you know, near my house or something, just hit me up and I'll come ride in it and I'll think about it. So he hits me up, and I'm like, I go up there, I ride in the car, and I'm like, man, this thing's fast, because it's a 5-speed. And I'm like, this is like it's a stock Mustang, and I'm like, man, this is faster than my other car was. And I was like, have I just been driving a slow car around? And I was like, I just want this car at this point. And I'm like, I'll give you the money. Don't sell the car. And he's like, I'm not going to sell the car. I didn't really want to sell it anyways. He's like, you get the money, come buy it. And I was like, okay. So anyways, to shorten the story down, went and got the car, and here we are now. And I've really not started modifying it in any way, but I've got some cool plans for it. And that probably won't happen this year, but you'll probably see me get started on another project this year. So we'll just keep that a secret for now and kind of surprise you guys when it happens. So I know this video was kind of long and you might have not stuck with me through the whole thing, but hopefully you did, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you want to hear more videos like this about some of the stories behind these cars, like this one I'm sitting in, then just let me know, because this car's actually got a really good story too. So just let me know, or I might just do it on improv. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching it. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more. And have a great rest of the day. And as always, stay humble.
Brother, sister, can you hear that? Our heartbeat cutting through the ether.